Today is Monday, February 12th. I'm Melissa Holmes with a look at what's happening in the news. A child and a man are recovering after being shot at Pastor Joel Osteen's megachurch in Texas yesterday.
We don't understand why these things happen, but we know God's in control, and we're going to pray for that little 5-year-old boy and pray for the lady that was deceased.
Authorities said a woman entered Lakewood Church accompanied by a boy believed to be about 5 years old and started shooting. 2 off-duty law enforcement officers there at the church opened fire and the woman was killed. The 5-year-old is in critical condition and the man was treated for an injury to his leg. The shooting actually happened right before the Spanish language service at the church began. Anayeli Ruiz has more from parishioners and families attending the service.
Terrifying moments inside Lakewood Church. Pre-service announcements interrupted by gunfire.
My mom said, "Stay down, stay down."
One churchgoer says she saw someone with a gun right after she'd walked out of the restroom.
It was extended and he was pointing it towards the crowd.
She ran for safety. Others hid inside rooms. She says they blocked the door with furniture. Some kids in daycare were stuck inside.
And I peeked out the windows and I saw cops coming, so I knew there was something inside the church that would do damage to us. So my dance group ran into the bathroom.
So terrified, they began to look for weapons.
And all we had to defend ourselves is a knife, a box cutter, and a wooden, and some wood to block the doors.
One father was worried about his kids he left at daycare. He tried to run upstairs to the 3rd floor to get his kids, but he wasn't allowed inside. Finally, after nearly 3 hours, he was reunited with his 3-month-old son. Tonight, this entire congregation,
God our Father who art in heaven,
holding on to their faith a little tighter.
A mother is charged in the death of her 1-month-old child after she allegedly placed her baby in the oven. The mother claims she accidentally put the infant into the oven instead of the child's crib. 26-year-old Mariah Thomas is facing charges of endangering the welfare of a child and faces 10 years to life in prison. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin is back in the hospital, this time to address a bladder issue as he continues to recover from prostate cancer. Sunday, Austin was transported by his security detail to Walter Reed National Military Medical Center, where he was admitted into the critical care unit for treatment following continued complications from his cancer treatments. Medical officials say it's unclear how long Austin will remain hospitalized. According to the Pentagon, he has transferred his responsibilities to his deputy. In a rare Sunday session, the Senate advanced a $95 billion foreign aid package that would send assistance to Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. They voted 67 to 27 to move the measure along to a final vote in the next few days as the 2-year anniversary of Russia's attack on Ukraine approaches. 18 Republicans helped pass the legislation despite opposition from former President Trump. GOP lawmakers killed an earlier bipartisan bill that would have included funding for border security due to pressure from Trump. The bill heads to the Republican-controlled House of Representatives, where it faces an uncertain future. Families who lost loved ones in the Maui wildfires could get up to $1.5 million each if they agree to not sue. This is according to Governor Josh Green, who announced the Victims' Compensation Fund on the 6-month mark of the wildfire. 100 people were killed and nearly 10,000 people lost their homes. Communities in Maui are still struggling, and residents say you can help through donations and tourism. Becca Habiger spoke to one community leader who says Maui is open for business.
This was the scene 6 months ago as wind-fueled wildfires ripped across the Hawaiian island of Maui, including the historic district of Lahaina, once the capital of the Hawaiian Kingdom, as well as a national historic landmark.
It's clearly one of the most complex, deep, and broad disasters that I think Hawaii has ever faced.
Micah Kane is president and CEO of the Hawaii Community Foundation, one of the main nonprofits supporting recovery efforts in Maui County.
We're at a critical juncture right now.
The fires killed at least 100 people, displaced nearly 10,000 people, and destroyed nearly 4,000 properties. Today, some 1,800 families remain displaced, living in hotels as Kane's foundation works to connect them with short-term rentals.
What are some ways folks can contribute at this point?
This is going to be a really long haul, and so I would really encourage people to continue to give to the various organizations that are engaged.
He says financial donations fund everything from housing and childcare to healthcare and food as Maui's tourism-reliant economy slowly returns.
We're open for business. We want to welcome the people back. We really appreciate them coming in and supporting our economy.
What is the best way to be a responsible tourist on Maui right now?
I really appreciate the question about how to come to Hawaii, and it really is just respecting people's situation. It wouldn't make a lot of sense to physically try to go into the burn zone area, but Kaanapali is open. We are welcoming visitors there, and we want them to come.
We put 5 organizations here.
Love and respect were the goals of Roseville's Gina Mertz. She and her husband recently visited Maui.
Still, there's a lot of devastation there and a lot of need.
She hosted a Hawaiian-inspired meal for friends over the weekend where she encouraged people to donate to the continued recovery efforts or help the island's economy by vacationing there.
Go to Maui, spend as much money as you can afford, go to all the local places, restaurants, anything locally owned, and then I also encourage people to tip as generously as possible.
The Kansas City Chiefs are now back-to-back Super Bowl champions. That hasn't happened since the Patriots went back-to-back in 2004 and 2005. In Las Vegas, the 49ers held a lead until the third quarter. Then there was a back-and-forth game, making for a great second half. The Chiefs make a last-second field goal in the fourth, which tied up the game at 19-all and sending things into overtime. This was only the second ever Super Bowl to go to overtime. The only other time was in 2016. 49ers had it first in overtime, kicking a field goal to make it 22-19. But with 3 seconds left, Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes threw a touchdown pass to wide receiver McCole Hardman Jr., winning the game. To celebrate the win, the Chiefs will parade through the streets of Kansas City on Wednesday and rally with their fans. And check out this moment right after the big win. Taylor Swift congratulates her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, after the victory with a hug and a kiss. Swift flew on a plane across 9 time zones and the international date line from shows in Tokyo to arrive in Vegas about 2 hours before kickoff.
You ain't gonna break me.
Still works.
Okay, they ready. Drop the new music.
Beyonce, in a Super Bowl ad for Verizon, announced Act 2 of her Renaissance album coming out on March 29th. And she dropped 2 new songs, Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages, that are out right now. She posted a teaser video to her Instagram for the song Texas Hold'em. And of course, we know Beyonce's from Houston, so it's a callback to her roots. You're all caught up. Thanks for joining us. I'm Melissa Holmes. Have a great day.